So we're going to do the note reading exercise on page 14. And this first time through, we're going to do it using pledge position. So here's what pledge position looks like. It's back on page 5. I have my right arm across my body. I have my left thumb underneath my wrist. And if I have no other fingers touching, that's going to be our note D, as if we're playing the open D string. If I see a note that looks like this, I'm going to put my first finger down, my pointer finger, and I'm going to call that E. If I put 3 fingers down, a total of 3 fingers, everything except my pinky, that's because I'm a violin or viola player, I'm going to call that G. And if I'm a cello player, I'm going to add the pinky. So violin and viola players for G have 3 fingers down, cello has 4 fingers down. So it's a different fingering, but it gets the same note. Okay, so let's go through from beginning to end. We're not going to pause in between. D, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, D, E, E, D, E, D, 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 G, 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 D, 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 G, D, G, G, D, G, D, E, E, G, 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 E, 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 G, E, G, G, E, G, E. All right, very good. Now, you're going to go through it a second time, and this time you're going to do it on the instrument, but you're still just going to say the notes. So the first thing is we have to get our hand into first position, which means for violin or viola, we have to slide it away from us. And here's a picture of what our hand looks like from first position, from the side or from our playing point of view. We have the thumb on the left side and the other fingers are on the right side, and a little space underneath the neck of the instrument. We have to keep our wrist down. We don't want it to be poking up. For cello or bass, we have our thumb on the back, and we're going to find that little fuzzy on the back, so we keep that in place. Whenever we say the note E and we're putting our first finger down, it's going to go on the red tape. Okay, we'll all use the red tape for that. When we're putting our fingers down for the note G, 3 fingers for violin or viola, 4 fingers for cello, that last finger, the third finger for violin or viola, is going to land on the blue tape. And for cello, it would be the 4th finger that lands on the blue tape. All right, so that's the one that we have to cover the best. And we have to kind of like lean our fingers up over top of it to really make sure we can push that string down because it's a little bit weaker of a finger than our pointer is. Okay, so we're going to go through the letters again, and this time you're going to be lifting and lowering your fingers. You're going to be placing the fingers on the D string. Remember, they're just going to all line up on the D string in front of you, as we see in those pictures. So here we go. D, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, D, E, E, D, E, D, 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 G, 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 D, 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 G, D, G, G, D, G, D, E, E, G, 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 E, 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 G, E, G, G, E, G, E. So that step that you just did is called alpha fingers because you're using the alphabet, the musical alphabet, and along with putting your fingers down. Whether you do it in a pledge position or with the instrument, they're both considered alpha fingers. It's a very good way to train yourself to move fingers along with different notes. For this final step, where we're going to play the notes, I'm not going to say the letters. If you can't remember what they should be, then go back and do the previous steps again. But this time we want to focus on what we see and what we hear. And of course, you can be thinking the letters as you're playing as well. So here is the note reading exercise, page 14. I play and you echo.